and welcome to the first tutorial for the new website Gifography that will hopefully be up and running very soon in 2016. Gifography will be your resource for all things GIF all the time. So I thought I'd start out by creating this tutorial for a very simple beginner type of cinemagraph where you fade in running water or smoke or rain or things like that. Things that will have a constant moving presence, and so you won't be able to tell where the loop starts and ends. So hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you try this out and you're successful. So the first thing you want to do, make sure Photoshop is open. Go drag your file in. And you'll see here you have your timeline up. Usually it comes up automatically, but if it doesn't, go to Window and Timeline. And then it should pop up right there. So you see you have your video group over here, and that will be pretty important to keep all your kind of video files in place, as you'll see in a minute when I show you. So the first thing on here, create a new layer. Drag it to the top, and for this you want to make sure that your duration of your clips is the same length, because if this one's longer, when you go to play here, the video disappears, and that is not what you want to do. So make sure you're on the same duration for all of your layer files. So for this, choose a bright color. Go to your paintbrush, choose the best size that will work, because this is how you'll be choosing the parts of your video that you will be looping. This will be your motion. So you take your brush on your layer, take these, you want to carefully paint in all your areas. Most of the time, if you have stationary objects that kind of get in the way, you can usually just paint on those because they typically don't move, which is kind of nice. So for this, if you need to paint over like right here a little bit, maybe right here, totally fine. It shouldn't mess with your motion and your looping too much. Okay. Just gonna make this a little bit smaller. Make sure, I like to get into all the tiny little places. Like right over here. Get right in between. Because sometimes people don't think about these, and they don't paint over them, and so there's kind of like this weird random little spot where there should be motion, but there isn't. So once you've done this, you can go back through your video right here, and if any of the parts that you want to keep stationary are overlapping, like the skirt right here, go ahead and make sure you erase those, or else you'll get a weird ghosting effect in part of your cinemagraph right there. So you see how the skirt moves. You have the option to, if you wanted to animate that as well, but that can get a little bit trickier. So for now, we're just going to stick to our easy water. So there you see, we've pretty much gotten everything. Got a little bit over here. I'm a perfectionist, so I like to make sure that all the little pieces are painted on. Okay, and so for this, now once you're done, go ahead and make your layer with your paint on invisible, because this will be important. You're going to be screenshotting this for your overlaid masking layer. You can either do that, or if you have a picture of that same exact frame, you can overlay that as your masked portion. But if you don't have a picture, it's fine, all good. You're going to want to highlight your video layer, and for Mac users, you're going to want to create a new layer with this screenshot. You'll go Shift, Option, Command, E. And that'll create a screenshot of wherever you are, right on the timeline right there. I'm going to drag this up. Make sure you're on your same duration. I'm not really sure. I haven't done it with a Windows, but I think you can Control A, select the whole thing, copy it, and then paste it on a new layer, and that should work perfectly fine. So select your masking layer, we'll call it, right here. And while that is highlighted, you're going to want to click on your invisible painted layer, and that will select everything that you painted in. And once you have that selected, go ahead and create a mask. And if you play this, you'll notice that you don't see the water moving. So make sure you press, you want to invert your masked layer. There you go. So you'll have that. So, okay. From here, if you decide that you want to add, a couple different things, like the skirt or something, or you need to fix, you can see a little ghosting right here. So you just want to take care of that and brush it on a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You might have kind of an odd, you can see right here, you're not fully selected. So you can go here and maybe add a little in, but be careful, because you'll get that funny ghosting right there. So just a little tweak right there. Okay, so you've got your mask and all of that, and now we're going to move on to how you create your perfect loop. So for this, you're going to drag to more or less the middle of your clip. Whoop. And you see right here, I didn't fully correct that. So let me go back really quick and do that. Let's see. There we go. All right. Perfect. Cool. So go back, make sure you have your video layer selected, and you right click or control, and then you click on your little tab right here and hit split clip. So that will create two different video layers, and you want them both to be under the video group 1 because they're going to be continuous, but you're going to drag this second layer in front right here, and it doesn't really matter if it's directly in the middle for this, just as best as you can get it. And from here, after you've dragged your second your copy to the beginning, go to this little bud, hit crossfade, make sure you're on 10 seconds, drag right there. And so for this, you'll have to adjust the layers to get it right. But as you can see, if we drag it over here, you can't even tell where the clip starts and where the clip ends. So there you go. Pretty easy, pretty simple. So yes, and so from here, what you're going to want to do to save your Cinemagraph, go to File, Save for Web, and depending on your computer and all that, and how big your video layer is, this might take a while to come up. There we go, and it pops up. So right here, you can readjust your sizing. For most of my cinemagraphs for posting to the web and keeping file size down, I will typically do 800 or 900 pixels, because that will reduce your file size and it won't make it really choppy. And there we go. And so on this page, you can play around with the different kind of settings to reduce your file size or to make it look better, I typically like to keep it as high resolution as possible, but if you need to make it smaller, you can play around with these different colors. This will reduce your color table right here. Just know that when you are reducing colors, if you have something with a lot of color in it, that will in turn make it look a little pixelated because it doesn't have all the colors to fill in. But you can also try your different kinds of adaptivity for your web colors right here. And I like to just keep it on pretty much the same things, but once you're done, make sure under looping options you hit forever, or else it's going to recycle once and that's it. And you don't want to do that after all your hard work, so make sure it's forever. Then you hit save. Let's see. Here we go. And so on here, you can name it whatever you'd like. Hit save. And you're good to go. Hope you guys liked the first Gifography tutorial for you. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. I will be posting hopefully more tutorials, a little bit more advanced kind of stuff in the future, so stay tuned, and I hope this helps you guys make cinemagraphs because it's so much fun. And if you want to share your own GIFs, make sure you go to the Facebook page and you can post on there, and I will hopefully share a bunch of those. So it's facebook.com/Gifography, so GIFOGRAPHY, and happy gifting!
Back where we started, before we parted, I would